Welcome to our journey through some of the most inspirational verses in the Bible. In the tapestry of these sacred texts, we find words that have resonated through millennia, offering solace, guidance, and unwavering hope. These verses remind us of God's love, faithfulness, and the hope we can find in Him. They speak to the deepest longings of the human heart, our desire for meaning, purpose, and connection with something greater than ourselves. So let us delve into these timeless words, allowing their wisdom to wash over us and ignite a spark of inspiration within our souls. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. These words, spoken with the quiet confidence of absolute authority, paint a picture of boundless power and infinite possibility. Before time began, before the first star ignited, there was God. And from the void He brought forth everything we know and everything we can imagine. This verse, the very first in the Bible, isn't just about the physical creation of the universe, it's about the very essence of creation itself. It's a reminder that God, the ultimate artist, is still creating, still shaping, still breathing life into the world. He is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, and within Him lies the potential for everything. And He passed in front of Moses, proclaiming, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness." Exodus chapter 34, verse 6. In a world often filled with darkness and despair, this verse shines a light on the very heart of God. He is not a distant deity, unmoved by our struggles. He is compassionate, understanding our weaknesses and offering grace in abundance. He is slow to anger, patient with our human failings, and always ready to forgive. He is a God of love, a love that knows no bounds, a love that pursues us relentlessly. "You are to be holy to me because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own." Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. This verse is both a challenge and a promise. It is a call to live differently, to set ourselves apart from the ways of the world and strive for something higher, something purer. But it is also a promise, a declaration of God's love and His desire for us. We are His chosen people, set apart for a special purpose. He calls us to be holy, not because it is easy, but because we are capable of reflecting His image in the world. God is not human, that He should lie, not a human being, that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. In a world of shifting sands and broken promises, God stands as the one constant, the one unwavering truth. His word is His bond, and His promises are as sure as the rising sun. This verse reminds us that we can trust in God's faithfulness, even when everything around us seems uncertain. He is not swayed by circumstances or swayed by the opinions of men. He is unwavering in His love, steadfast in His purpose, and true to His word. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you, nor forsake you. Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Life is a journey filled with both triumphs and trials. There will be moments when we feel overwhelmed, moments when fear threatens to consume us, but in those moments we must cling to the promise of God's unwavering presence. He is with us always, a constant companion on our journey. He will never leave us, never forsake us, no matter how dark the valley or how steep the climb. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua chapter 1, verses 7 to 9. These verses are a powerful reminder that true success is not measured by wealth or worldly possessions, but by our obedience to God's word. It is a call to courage, to stand firm in our faith and to live our lives according to His divine plan. When we seek His guidance, when we meditate on His word, and when we strive to live according to His principles, we open ourselves up to the fullness of His blessings. But when they cried out to the Lord, He raised up for them a deliverer, Othniel son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, who saved them. Judges chapter 3, verse 9. This verse reminds us that even when we stray from God's path, even when we find ourselves in desperate situations, He is always ready to answer our cries for help. He is a God of second chances, a God of redemption, and a God who delights in lifting us out of the miry clay. When we cry out to Him in our time of need, He hears our prayers and He responds with compassion and swift action. Where you die I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. Ruth chapter 1, verses 17 to 18. Ruth's words to Naomi are a testament to the power of unwavering loyalty and love. In a world where relationships can be fleeting and superficial, Ruth's commitment to Naomi shines as a beacon of hope and a reminder of the enduring power of human connection. It is a love that transcends borders, cultures, and even death itself. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7. This verse serves as a powerful reminder that God's ways are not our ways. He is not swayed by superficial appearances or worldly standards of success. He sees beyond the facade into the very depths of our being. He values the content of our character, the purity of our hearts, and the genuineness of our intentions. How great you are, Sovereign Lord! There is no one like you, and there is no God but you, as we have heard with our own ears. 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 22. These words, spoken with awe and reverence, capture the essence of God's greatness. He is the Sovereign Lord, the ruler of all creation, the one true God. He is incomparable, unmatched, and utterly unique. There is no one like Him in power, in majesty, or in love. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the one who was, who is, and who is to come. Then Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in front of the whole assembly of Israel, spread out his hands toward heaven and said, "Lord, the God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven above or on earth below, you who keep your covenant of love with your servants who continue wholeheartedly in your way. You have kept your promise to your servant David my father. With your mouth you have promised, and with your hand you have fulfilled it, as it is today." 1 Kings chapter 8 verses 22 to 24. This passage speaks of the unwavering faithfulness of God. He is a God who keeps His promises, a God who honors His covenants, a God whose word is as good as gold. He is not a man that He should lie, nor the son of man that He should repent. What He has promised, He will surely fulfill. Because your heart was responsive and you humbled yourself before the Lord, when you heard what I have spoken against this place and its people, that they would become a curse and be laid waste, and because you tore your robes and wept in my presence, I also have heard you, declares the Lord. 2 Kings chapter 22 verse 19. This verse highlights the power of a humble and contrite heart in the sight of God. When we acknowledge our shortcomings, when we turn away from our wicked ways, and when we seek His forgiveness with genuine sincerity, He hears our prayers. He sees our brokenness, and He responds with compassion and mercy. Then you will have success if you are careful to observe the decrees and laws that the Lord gave Moses for Israel. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged. 1 Chronicles chapter 22 verse 13. This verse serves as a reminder that true success comes not from worldly ambition or material wealth, but from obedience to God's laws. When we align our lives with His will, when we strive to follow His commands, He promises to bless our efforts. He calls us to be strong and courageous, to face our challenges head-on, knowing that He is with us every step of the way. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. This verse offers a powerful message of hope and restoration. When we humble ourselves before God, when we acknowledge our need for Him, and when we turn away from our sinful ways, He promises to hear our prayers. He is a God of forgiveness, a God of healing, and a God who desires to restore our brokenness. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. Ezra chapter 10 verse 4. This verse is a call to action, an encouragement to rise above our fears and embrace the tasks that God has placed before us. It reminds us that we are not alone in our endeavors. We have the support of God and the encouragement of our brothers and sisters in faith. With courage and determination, we can accomplish great things for His kingdom. Nehemiah said, "Go and enjoy choice food and sweet drinks and send some to those who have nothing prepared. This day is holy to our Lord. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Nehemiah 8:10. This verse reminds us that our strength comes not from our own power or resilience, but from the joy of the Lord. When we find our joy in Him, when we delight in His presence, He strengthens us to face whatever challenges life may bring. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. These words, spoken to Esther in a moment of great crisis, remind us that we are all placed on this earth for a purpose. We are all given unique gifts and opportunities to make a difference in the world. When we step out in faith, when we use our voices to speak up for what is right, and when we act with courage and conviction, we can change the course of history. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end He will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see Him with my own eyes, I, and not another. How my heart yearns within me. Job 19:25-27. These words spoken by Job in the midst of unimaginable suffering are a testament to the power of hope and the unwavering belief in a God who redeems. Even when faced with despair, even when surrounded by darkness, Job clung to the hope of a future where he would be reunited with his Redeemer. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower, the righteous run to it and are safe. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 10. In a world that can feel chaotic and unpredictable, the name of the Lord stands as a beacon of hope and a source of unwavering strength. When we call upon His name, when we place our trust in Him, we find refuge from the storms of life. He is our protector, our defender, and our ever-present help in times of trouble. Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. This verse cuts to the heart of our purpose as human beings. We are called to fear God, not out of terror or dread, but out of reverence and awe for His power and majesty. We are called to keep His commandments, not as a burden or a chore, but as a way of honoring Him and living in alignment with His will. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. Psalm 23 verses 1-3. This beloved psalm is a beautiful expression of God's tender care for His children. Like a shepherd who guides his flock, He provides for our every need, leading us to places of peace and restoration. He is our protector, our provider, and our constant companion on life's journey. Let Him lead me to the banquet hall, and let His banner over me be love. Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 4. This verse speaks of the all-consuming, passionate love that God has for His people. It is a love that pursues us relentlessly, a love that surrounds us like a banner, a love that protects us and guides us. In His presence we find a love that satisfies the deepest longings of our hearts. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for Him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in Him, to the one who seeks Him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 22-26. This passage offers a message of hope and encouragement to those who are going through difficult times. Even in the midst of suffering, even when we feel overwhelmed by despair, we can take comfort in the knowledge that God's love never fails. His compassions are new every morning, a fresh start, a new beginning. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. This verse is a powerful reminder that we are never alone in our struggles. God is with us always, a source of strength and comfort in times of need. He promises to strengthen us, to help us, and to uphold us with his righteous right hand. When we place our trust in him, we can face any challenge with courage and confidence. The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. Jeremiah 31:31. This verse speaks of God's promise to establish a new covenant with his people, a covenant based not on outward observance of the law but on an inward transformation of the heart. It is a covenant of grace, a covenant of forgiveness, and a covenant of everlasting love. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Ezekiel 36:26. This verse speaks of the transformative power of God's grace. He desires to change us from the inside out, replacing our hardened hearts of stone with hearts of flesh that are sensitive to his love and responsive to his will. He wants to make us new creations, capable of experiencing the fullness of his love and reflecting his glory in the world. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Daniel 3:16-18. The story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is a testament to the power of unshakable faith. These three young men were willing to face death rather than compromise their beliefs. They knew that their God was able to deliver them, but even if he didn't, they refused to bow down to any other god. Who is wise? Let them realize these things. Who is discerning? Let them understand. The ways of the Lord are right, the righteous walk in them, but the rebellious stumble in them. Hosea chapter 14 verse 9. This verse reminds us that God's ways are not always our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. But when we choose to walk in his ways, when we seek his wisdom and guidance, we will find that his paths lead to life, to peace, and to everlasting joy. And everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved, for on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there will be deliverance, as the Lord has said, even among the survivors whom the Lord calls. Joel chapter 2 verse 32. This verse offers a message of hope and salvation to all who call upon the name of the Lord. It is a promise that transcends time and circumstance, a promise that is available to everyone, regardless of their past mistakes or present circumstances. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. Amos chapter 3 verse 7. This verse reminds us that God is a God of order, a God of purpose, and a God who reveals his plans to those who seek him. He does not operate in secrecy or confusion, but chooses to communicate his will to his people through his chosen messengers. When we listen to the voice of the prophets, we are aligning ourselves with God's plan and opening ourselves up to his blessings. Deliverers will go up on Mount Zion to govern the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 21. This verse speaks of the ultimate victory of God's kingdom. It is a reminder that no matter how dark the world may seem, no matter how powerful the forces of evil may appear, God is still on the throne. He is in control, and his kingdom will prevail. This is the proclamation he issued in Nineveh. By the decree of the king and his nobles, do not let people or animals, herds or flocks taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink, but let people and animals be covered with sackcloth. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. Jonah chapter 3 verses 7 through 9. The story of Jonah is a powerful reminder that God's mercy is available to all who turn from their wicked ways and seek his forgiveness. Even the people of Nineveh, a city known for its wickedness, found grace in the eyes of God when they repented of their sins. Who is a God like you, who pardons sin and forgives the transgression of the remnant of his inheritance? You do not stay angry forever but delight to show mercy. Micah chapter 7 verse 8. This verse celebrates the boundless mercy and forgiveness of God. He is a God who delights in showing compassion, a God who does not hold our sins against us forever. When we come to Him with contrite hearts, He is always ready to forgive, to heal, and to restore. The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in Him. Nahum chapter 1 verse 7. This verse offers a message of comfort and hope to those who are going through difficult times. God is our refuge, our strength, and our ever-present help in times of trouble. When we place our trust in Him, when we run to Him for safety, He promises to protect us, to comfort us, and to see us through the storm. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights. Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 19. This verse speaks of the empowering grace of God. He is our strength, the one who enables us to overcome obstacles, to scale mountains, and to achieve the impossible. When we rely on His power, we can face any challenge with confidence and courage. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In His love He will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17. This verse paints a beautiful picture of God's love for His people. He is not a distant, uncaring deity, but a loving Father who takes delight in His children. He rejoices over us with singing, celebrating our victories, and comforting us in our sorrows. Now this is what the Lord Almighty says, give careful thought to your ways. Haggai chapter 1 verse 5. This verse is a call to self-reflection, an invitation to examine our lives and make sure that we are living in alignment with God's will. It is a reminder that our actions have consequences and that we are accountable to God for the choices we make. Therefore tell the people, this is what the Lord Almighty says, return to me. Zechariah chapter 1 verse 3. This is a call to return to God, a plea for His people to turn away from their idols and seek His face once more. He is a God of second chances, a God of forgiveness, and a God who longs to restore us to a right relationship with Himself. When we turn back to Him, He promises to meet us with open arms and to shower us with His love and mercy. But for you who revere my name, the Sun of Righteousness will rise with healing in its rays, and you will go out and frolic like well-fed calves. Malachi chapter 4 verse 2. This verse offers a message of hope and restoration to those who revere God's name. The Sun of Righteousness, a symbol of God's love and grace, will rise upon them, bringing healing, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. They will go out and frolic like well-fed calves, filled with the joy of the Lord. Thank you for joining us on this inspirational journey through the Bible. We've explored verses that speak of God's boundless love, unwavering faithfulness, and the hope we can find in Him, even in the darkest of times. May these verses uplift your spirit and remind you of God's everlasting love and faithfulness. May they serve as a source of strength, encouragement, and guidance as you navigate the complexities of life. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. God is with you always, ready to guide your steps, comfort your heart, and lead you to a place of peace and fulfillment.